So just for the first part of this meeting, if we can turn our attention inwardly, sit comfortably and welcome our experience just as it appears. Sort of an inward listening that is not interested in changing anything or seeking anything or is sort of letting go of time, of the past, the future. Notice that there is nothing you need to do to be as presence, to welcome yourself as presence. You don't need to remember anything. You don't need to figure anything out. To be the peace of presence, the peace of being. Which is available to all of us equally. In and as this peace, this borderless presence, there isn't a me and a you. There is no separation. There is no unhappiness. There is no sense of lack. Whatever appears to you disappears as it appears, disappears. And you remain. You meaning this aware presence, which has no name and no age, no gender, no history. It is as awareness that we are one and that all is one. In the religious way of speaking, we say, all is God. wherever your eyes fall is God's body, God's being, God's presence appearing to you, to itself. I recognize you everywhere. I recognize myself, the one self, the transparent self. I recognize you as myself and as everyone and everything. That which recognizes is not different from that which is recognized. We imagine that we are a body-mind, female or male or whatever a form. And in such belief, we reduce God's infinity and eternity. We imagine that we are existing in time and space, that we are the result of the past. We fail to see that this belief, which we also experience as a feeling that I am this person, that this belief and this feeling create a sort of personal bubble and veil the transparency of being which I am. You are not the body-mind instrument. I refers to this borderless awareness that is non-phenomenal, the reality of being, the reality of consciousness. which cannot be drowned in the ocean or burned in a fire. I know myself as this awareness. Taking on the form of this hearing, sensing, perceiving. The sound of the barking dog in the distance. The heartbeat. The sensation of your feet on the ground. The breath. Awareness remains as it is. Infinite, invisible. When we look at images on the screen, we overlook the screen, meaning we overlook that in fact we are looking at the screen. In this moment, you can recognize yourself as awareness. This awareness is the reality of our experience. Notice it is there, across the board, unchanging. Formless, colorless, and yet permeates our entire experience. Awareness of the breath. I know myself as this aware presence that is formless, not located inside any envelope. Take a look. Become familiar with yourself as awareness. If you leave this knowingness and instead adopt the model that you are a woman or a man, a mother, a father, a son, return to knowing yourself as awareness. There is no problem with mother, father, daughter, son. It's okay. All of which appears to you. You, meaning awareness. I, awareness. Which is not personal. We don't need to add the article my or the adjective my awareness. Just awareness. I, awareness. Whenever you believe yourself to be a mortal body-mind, which we're all familiar with, there are all sorts of worries and concerns. About my body, my future, regrets about the past, concerns about my belongings, my family, my tribe. Whenever you overlook your true nature as awareness, and you believe yourself to be a mortal form, you inevitably will experience the sense of lack and the fear of ending. Resistance that arises within your body-mind. You will find yourself struggling with your feelings and your emotions, looking for the peace on behalf of what you imagine yourself to be, a separate person. Which you are not. Allow yourself to be taken deeper and deeper by this understanding, the true significance of I. Allow this understanding to live itself through you. It will. It awaits your invitation and your participation. Well, if you have any questions, anything you would like to share, anything you would like to explore, please make sure you unmute your mic, and you're welcome to turn on your video so we can see each other if you choose. So any questions? Any questions?
Right here.
Gigi, I just unmuted you. I saw that you're speaking.
Yes, greetings, Magdi.
Yes, hello.
Thank you for your presence. I'm visiting a lot of pain in my solar plexus and root chakra. Just doing my best to stay present with it. I understand this is part of the process of purifying the body.
So Gigi, just to share that there are different ways in which at the feeling level the process unfolds. The main thing is to allow it to be. So there is an infinite space around this sensation. So it's a sort of blockage. When there is a blockage, there are forces that sort of, they're like wounding around each other, trying to figure a solution. And the solution is not within the energetic, it's the vast space, it's infinite that surrounds and that permeates this manifestation. So invite yourself to sort of to the space, invite your experience to the space without forcing it, without any personal intention, without like directing it. Sort of an invitation that, yes, it's okay, I see what's going on here, I can sense it, yes, sense it in my body, there something that's working itself, okay, no problem, there is infinite space around it. It is part of the process of sort of the energy that's flowing, sort of bouncing against certain positions, all the positions. Sort of, that this bouncing is only an impression. There isn't an actual quirk, there isn't an actual fault there, where the flow is actually in actuality bouncing again. It's just a sort of a movement of the wind, movement, an energetic movement. And as all energetic movements, it's constantly in flux, and in the understanding and the invitation to the wholeness, to the totality, to the openness, to the yesness, to the freedom. That is your part. That is your part as consciousness, as awareness, to sort of invite that understanding throughout your whole being, your entire being. So it's very different from being a subject to the pain being an object, sort of a dark object or a negative object, and you are the subject to the pain. No, it's an intimate relationship of oneness. It's just like the ocean and the current within the ocean. So there's a current within the ocean, but the ocean is this infinite vastness, and the current finds it's, it's it has ample space to relax into the vastness of the ocean. But there is no issue with the current, yes? But something that we need to sort of find a way to solve. No, it's not like that. So with the love, with the understanding, with the caring and the proper response, everything comes to harmony in its own way. When you have children, every child is different, has their own personality, their own way. This person resists this way, that person resists that way, this other one doesn't resist at all. But in relating out of the love and understanding and the invitation and the caring, all comes to it all comes to the peace which is always there.
Just say thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Gigi.
Just say thank you to the feelings.
Yes, absolutely. Saying thank you, and also, it's always an invitation to recognize that there is no problem. The problem resides in a position we take to defend an imaginary fort, an imaginary fortress. So then, as soon as there is an imaginary fortress, there are walls to the fortress. There is the outside and the inside. As awareness, there are no borders. There are no walls. So yes, the thank you is already there in the recognition that there are no walls. There isn't a fortress to defend. There isn't an enemy out there, whatever out there means. So it's a thank you, and in that thank you, there aren't two. There isn't anybody thanking anybody for anything. Yes, one could say yes. But a little bit. Let me say the meaning of our existence, our human existence, is beyond the human existence. It does not lie, it does not reside within the human experience. The human experience can, at best and hopefully, it is comprehended this way, but doesn't seem to by most of us. Human experience is in a way like a stepping stone or a pathway to the divine, to the beyond, to the reality, which does not reside in the human experience.
Thank you. Thank you, Monty.
Okay. So one can consider that our experience is in fact God's experience through particular body minds, through all body minds. And when we recognize that it's actually God's mind, not a personal mind, that it's God's light that's shining through this mind, that recognition removes the sense of separation and the belief in being a material form existing in a material world. It's a recognition that it is God's mind that is operating, creating both the world we perceive, the thoughts we perceive, and the body that we perceive and feel. This is one reality, one creator, one truth, one reality that excludes nothing. It couldn't exclude anything. It would not be one reality if it excluded anything. So I is this one reality. That which I perceive is made out of that same reality. That which I perceive, meaning the world that I perceive, the universe that I perceive, the sensations that I perceive, meaning the body that I perceive, and the thoughts that I perceive, meaning the mind that I perceive, are all made out of that one reality, which we know to be the reality of awareness, what we refer to as I. Any questions?
Hi, Magdi. This is George.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask, those flowers behind you, are they, I really like them. Are they real?
Yes.
And if so, what are they? Yes, those.
And they smell so good too. They smell.
They smell good. They must be real. Do you know what they are?
You know, today, this morning, we went to, there is a local market. Actually, it's a small farm. It's not a market. It's a farm. And the farmers, they sell all sorts of vegetables and fruits, but they grow on the farm. Very, very lovely farm. And they had a bouquet of these flowers, but I didn't ask the name of them, so I don't know.
Okay.
If I do find out, I will let you know.
Yeah, yeah, let me know. And it's not really important. I just really like them.
They smell really beautiful. Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, George.
Hey, Magdi.
Anna, hello, Anna.
Hi. As like a truth seeker, when you're interested in a relationship, does it matter that the other person is interested in that also?
Well, a relationship is a shared interest, Amna. So when you go to the market to buy the fruits and vegetables, you're interested in purchasing the fruits and vegetables, and the market person, the salesperson, is interested in selling. So there is a meeting, you see. So yes, definitely in the relationship, irrespective of being a truth lover or not, in all relationships, there has to be some sort of handshake, at least initially. Maybe later on we're handshaking somebody else, I don't know, but to start with, there has to be some sort of shared interest, whether the interest is that maybe we both like music, we both like bicycling, or we both we have a culinary interest in the culinary field, or we like being together and speaking, sharing together, cooking together, going for walks together, playing together. Yes. If the other person is not interested, you need to honor that. It's important not to impose, yourself onto somebody else. It will lead to misery anyways. It will lead, if you succeed somehow in seducing the other, it will not take you to a happy place. And not all not all love is meant to be lived. In other words, well, I mean, a very simple example, you could love your mother or your father and may not, nothing you're living with them more than a day or two, especially when they're telling you how to live your life and all that. But there are some relationships that may be relationships that are arising out of even a mutual love for each other that may not be possible to be lived for so many reasons. And of course, in the case where you have a sentiment or some feelings for somebody and they're not reciprocating, and you assume that you express yourself, you express your feeling to the other, which is helpful for them to know that you're interested in. Sometimes, even before even saying any words, we sort of sense it, but sometimes, words can be shared about how you feel. And if it's not reciprocated, then for now, it is not meant to be. It's neither good nor bad. It's just, I guess it's just meant for you to experience a non-reciprocated love. I don't know if that's the right English, but a love that is not reciprocated.
So, like it's necessary to share that interest in truth. There could be other shared interest, or just enjoying being together, right?
Yeah. There's so many. We relate for many, many reasons. Our relationship. If I understood your question correctly, if you are a truth lover and you're in a relationship with somebody who also shares the same love for truth, then you have something very, very strong in common, which is your love for truth. And that's one of the higher ways of relating, one of the best possibilities of being in a relationship. But you can be in a relationship with a friend where you share common interests, which have nothing to do with truth, love for truth, or contemplation of truth. The interest may be so many. Did I understand your question correctly? I don't know if I did.
I mean, you answered it. Yeah, I was just saying, like, as a truth lover, if you're interested in a relationship, is it important to for the other, to find someone who is also interested?
Well, we don't pick and choose. It's sort of yeah.
You're right.
Life is happening, But yes.
But there's giving space for something to happen, and there's
if you are interested in truth, you will find that over time you are less interested in living from the perspective of the me, my family, my tribe, my looks, my body. This does not mean that if you have other interests in music, in dance, in traveling, in poetry, whatever, that these interests will be compromised. No. You could have a relationship with friends who share your interest in poetry or your interest in music. They may not share your interest in truth. And you could have a relationship with somebody who shares your interest in truth and shares your interest in music or dance or whatever. And you could have or you can have a relationship with somebody who's interested in truth and may not be sharing your interest in music and dance or traveling or whatever. So there are all these various options. Now, you will find that as a truth lover, you will find yourself effortlessly, it's not conscious, you'll find yourself more and more drawn towards people who share your truth, your love for truth.
Which brings up another question, which is like, and okay, one moment.
Well, in my case, for example, sorry to interrupt, but
Go ahead.
in my case, I was a truth lover from the 70s. And yet, I had many relationships, some were marriages that lasted many years, with people who did not share my love for truth. Somehow that's how it unfolded. And eventually, now I am with Tara, and we both share the same love for truth, the passion for truth. Just wanted to mention that note, although I was a truth lover from way back when, and that was, my highest interest, that is not how things unfolded, for me over the years.
So I experience guilt when I lose interest in interactions that are, in my experience, far away from truth. Like I feel guilt, and
Let me see if I understood. So you feel guilt when you find yourself interested in relationships with people who have no interest in truth?
no, when I lose interest.
When you lose interest for your love for...
No, sorry. When I lose interest for like previous friendships that I have.
Yeah, I got you. I see. Friendships are overvalued, emphasized. What's the word? Friendships are overemphasized.
Overrated, overvalued.
Thank you, George. Yes, overrated. They're overrated. And in times you will find that they just sort of dissolve in thin air. But love doesn't dissolve in thin air. Love remains, you see. So the love that you shared with a friend, although the friendship may no longer be shared in your life, the love is still there. The tenderness is still there. But you may be have gone in totally different directions. So it's not about friendship, it's more about love. So in terms of you feeling guilty, all this stuff passes. Everything passes. The only thing that does not pass is awareness, presence, the reality. Reality does not pass, meaning the I does not pass. Everything else passes. The thoughts, the feelings, the memories, where you lived. I lived in maybe 30 places in my life, and you look at your own experience, in terms of your thoughts and your feelings and your perception, they're all the time passing. So you have to allow the things that pass to pass, because that's what they do, they pass, and recognize that which does not pass.
So allow allow the friendships to pass and allow the guilt to pass.
Absolutely. And as you allow the friendships to pass, because everything that arises passes, you will find that the guilt won't even arise. But if it does arise, okay, fine. So for a moment, I felt like I'm a personal self that should have held on to my friendships and should have been a better friend and blah, blah, blah. But it's all, you see it, you see the falsehood of it, because if you don't see the falsehood of, I should have been a better friend, I shouldn't have lost my friends, then you get trapped in that feeling, in that belief that of right and wrong, that you are a good person or a bad person. But you are neither a good person or a bad person. You are not a person. You are consciousness, awareness. The person appears to you as perceptions, sensations, memories, images, perceptions. I'm not denying that which appears. I'm just saying that I am not that which appears. I have no issue with this body being male body, being so tall, so short, so fat, so thin, so whatever. I don't have any issue with that which appears. I just know myself to be that which perceives, that which is, not that which appears.
So just like we don't control, well, we don't control our thoughts and we don't control our emotions. So therefore, we don't control the way that this body mind shows up.
Well, you know, if you look at the body mind are an integral part of the world. Your body is interconnected with the air, with the space, with the earth, with the sunshine, and on and on. So in terms of the body and the mind, it's interconnected with the whole. It's a cosmic realm. It's not like the body doesn't exist in isolation. So whatever is occurring in the cosmos has an expression within your body mind and within all body minds. It has an expression, all expressions, all appearances, all manifestations, meaning thoughts, sensations, perceptions, are cosmic, impersonal. What makes them personal is the belief that there is a personal doer or a personal controller.
So there is no personal doer and personal controller.
What do you say?
Okay, I'm gonna take a moment. I don't think so, but I believe that I have control, or I want to have control, and I'm not having control.
Well, when you say, I want to have control, you're already assuming within that sentence that there is an I, a personal I, that can have control, but right now doesn't seem to have control.
Yeah.
Now, I have no issue with the personal I. I'm not anti-personal I, but I am pro-truth. That's my bias. So therefore, when I say, okay, well, there is a personal I, okay, Shiva, Bintu. When I say there is a personal I, then I say, okay, cool, I'm on board. If there is a personal I, then there must be a personal I right now. Right now. So I'm available to meet this personal I. So I say, okay, fine. Speaking to myself, speaking to you, I say, okay, let's have a cup of tea with this personal I right now. So say, okay, I, please, door is open, door is open. You don't need to ring the bell. Come in. And the only thing that comes in when I open this door, when I say, please come in, is an image of for example, I'm just brainstorming, an image of Magdi, an image that says, oh, well, that's Magdi, or a memory, or a sensation, or a picture. What is your experience when you say, hey, the door is open, show up, please present yourself? What is your experience?
It's a sensation.
Okay, so same thing, I have sensation. So then this personal I is a sensation or an image. In my case, I have also images. So say, oh, interesting. This personal I is a bundle of images and sensations, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, these bundles of images and sensations, they appear to me.
Yes.
So let's assume this bundle of images and sensations is I, which is ridiculous in itself. But anyways, let's jump over this one. Let's say, okay, let's agree that I means bundles of images and sensations. Then they appear to me. So therefore, there is also awareness. They appear to awareness, right?
Yes.
So then I ask myself a question, okay, fine. I have no issue with this me, this bundle of images and sensations. But there is also I awareness. So then, because I'm interested in truth, in reality, I ask myself, well, which is real? Just ask myself, well, this is interesting, which is real? It seems that there are two doors, door A and door B, which is real? So when I look at that question, I find that the images and the sensation are constantly changing, and sometimes are even absent. But awareness is always there, the same, unchanging, changeless. Then I tell myself, aha, I got it. The reality of I is awareness. And the other stuff, the sensations and images, whatever, they are not I. They're sensations and images. And I could say that they're trying to convince me meaning awareness, that I awareness is made out of thoughts and sensations. And because I'm not stupid, I'm smart, I say, no, I'm not buying those goods. I'm not, sounds like a hoax to me. Because why? Because those thoughts and sensations are constantly appearing and disappearing, especially when I drink a couple of shots of good whiskey, you know?
I haven't had that experience yet.
Huh?
I haven't had that experience yet.
Okay. Don't worry. You're doing okay.
Okay.
While awareness is the same awareness. You can drink a shot of brandy or whatever, it's still the same awareness, but now the scene is, whoa, yeah, cool, groovy, but it's the same awareness. Awareness is the same whether you're looking over a beautiful, calm lake, or whether you're looking over a lake where there's a strong wind and thunder, and it's the same awareness. The image is different, but the same awareness. So that's why I don't buy that. Over time, I became wiser and wiser. When I was younger, I used to believe, oh yeah, oh my God, my feelings, my memories, my this, I am, what's going to happen to me? Why did I do this? Have I been a good friend? Have I not been a good friend? I should be better. I should have, prayed for this and given that. And I used to think these things and feel these things. But over time, I became wiser. I don't buy the counterfeit money. I can recognize the counterfeit. Be careful when you travel, to those some countries where they recognize you. They say, here is my opportunity. She's giving me $100. I'm going to give her 85 counterfeit. Anyways, yes. So you follow? Yeah, you follow?
I follow.
Okay. So when you are feeling guilty, it is because at that moment you believe yourself. At that moment you are buying the counterfeit. You are believing the thoughts and the sensations, that you are defined by the thoughts and the sensations. It's a big thing in our culture.
I don't know. Oh, like for moments in our conversation, like there's the experience, like a knowing of it, and then it's gone. And again, I'm back in like identifying with the counterfeit.
Yes.
And I'm just greedy and I just want the real thing all the time.
Well, it's good. That's good that you are not settling for a temporary experience of peace and happiness, that you want to recognize the causeless peace and happiness that doesn't come and go. That's good. So that's your guide. Your interest in knowing yourself across the board, not just 5 minutes during satsang, but to know yourself as that.
I wish it was 5 minutes, more like seconds.
In those seconds, it's contained the eternity of being.
More like 5 seconds. Oh.
You see, the thing is, that's the mind, thoughts, all of the me aspect of experience, creates an illusion, of time. It says, well, I exist in time. And so then when it comes to understanding is not in time. When you feel it, I get it. You are knowingly this presence. There isn't time. There is no time. But then the mind comes and says, oh, well, that was just 3 seconds. It comes and it creates a thought and a feeling impression, which says that was 3 minutes, 2 minutes. So that's the mind aspect. The mind is always operating in me in time. How am I doing now? What's going to happen tomorrow? What did I do yesterday? So the mind, sense of separation, exists in sorrow, meaning regret and hope. This is in time, regret and hope. You regret and you hope. You regret the past, or you're proud of yourself in the past, who knows? And you're hoping for a good future. But that has nothing to do with your actual experience. Your actual experience is that of presence, is that of awareness. That's just a script. The mind is a script, a narrative, a storyline, a whisper in your ear. Hello, how are you doing? Are you doing good? How long did this last? Yes. Maybe you wanted to last 5 minutes. Okay. What did he say? He said it's not in time. Well, tell him, well, it feels like it's in time. And what did he say? He said, well, if feeling arises in awareness, it's made out of awareness. Well, tell him, well, I don't experience that all the time.
if those thoughts were like an external voice, like with me all the time, it's like a crazy human being.
We're all a little bit crazy. Human beings, we're all a little crazy. Don't you worry. It's only as awareness, as presence, that there is no craziness, that we are one.
So the thought, feeling, impression comes up, and
you buy it.
I get lost in it.
You buy it. You say, oh, only 3 minutes? Or only 2 minutes? You buy it. When you say, yeah, only 2 minutes, you're buying it. You're selling yourself. You're buying hot air, and you're selling yourself.
Okay, so so how do I stop doing that?
When you say, how do I stop doing that? What do you mean when you say I? When you say, listen to what you said. How do I stop doing that? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
When you said that, what is the I that you are referring to?
Yeah, the thoughts and the feelings.
Okay, just keep taking a look at that. You keep referring to I as a counterfeit. You can see it. All I did is I asked you, you can ask yourself the same question. When I say I, what am I referring to? Am I referring to a bundle of images and thoughts and feelings and sensations? Or am I referring to awareness? Right? I mean, you could ask yourself this question, right?
Yeah.
Write it down and tape it on the bathroom mirror.
I just wrote it down.
I used to do that when I was, years ago. I remember I used to have notes, the volume. Oh, thank you, Frank, or Holger. I used to do that. I used to have these little stickers, in the kitchen, in the bedroom door, and bathroom mirror, the reminders. Anyways,
how does awareness live though? Like, I know how to live as a separate person. I don't know how to live as awareness.
Somebody asked this question yesterday. Was it George? Awareness lives as you are living right now, just right now, without the belief that I am mortal and limited, without the feeling and the belief. Yes, it is effortless. Awareness is effortless, and it lives itself without the belief that I am a woman, a man, a mother, a father, a son, a daughter. It doesn't, whenever you are living, referring to yourself as a mother, as a daughter, you're referring to the body mind, which is not a problem. I'm not saying there's a problem. the body. Could be a mother, could be a father, could be male, female, whatever it could be. Snail, I don't, whatever. So, but consciousness, awareness lives itself as it's living itself right now, without the sense of lack, without resistance, without, oh my God, I shouldn't have done this. Oh my God, why did they do this to me? Oh my goodness, is it going to be better tomorrow? Oh my God, am I going to get enlightened? Oh my goodness, is this going to, my enlightenment going to last more than 3 minutes? Without that. Capiche?
Capiche. Thank you.
Okay.
So, Magdi, it's Dolores.
Dolores, hello, Dolores. Yes.
Hello. Good to see you.
Hello.
I
Yes.
wanted to ask,
Yes.
following up on that, you just mentioned about the relationships of mother and daughter, and that's where I really do get hung up with as well. And I said I. I realized I said I, but are you consider those relationships to be overrated?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Way, way overrated. Actually, if you look at relationships between mothers, daughters, fathers, sons, etc., it's a big mess. I'm sorry to say, I'm not talking about in your case. I'm just speaking generically.
Yes.
We are out of whack. We're out of whack. Rather than relating, honoring consciousness, the same consciousness within you, within your son, within your daughter, rather than honor, we live in servitude to, oh my God, what is she going to become? What is she going to do? What's going to happen to her as a body? We are completely in the realm of perceptions and sensations. We completely are oblivious to God's being. We have actually personified God. We make God as a concept and image in our own head, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about to realize that this my daughter is actually not my daughter. She is God's daughter, and I am not, her mother. I am God's daughter as well. To realize that there is that equality in creation, that God created everybody and everything equal to herself, to her own image, and to live from that. This does not mean that you are not, as an adult body mind, available to share your wisdom. Whether it's going to be heard or not, who knows? Only God knows. You share. You are available to assist in whichever way you can. If you're asked, sometimes we're not even asked. We just impose on our children our own ideas of images of how we want our children to be, which have only to do with our own images of ourselves, how we want to feel. We will feel better if my son or daughter is ... fill in the blanks. It's pretty miserable. I mean, I grew up in this. My parents wanted me to be, fill in the blanks. I did have my share. We all do. We all know that. Maybe probably the same for you. If you think about your relationship with your parents, of course, there is the love. I'm not saying there isn't the love as well. Love is there. But we are caught up in the senses and in the thoughts and in the feelings. And which is sort of a cultural, a planetary thing, It's like, let's look at what we've done to the planet. I mean, it's how we're living with our children, with our family, with our community, with our tribe, with our city, with our village, with our country, with the nation. You see it in the earth. You see it's all interconnected. You see, it's all interconnected. And the hope, the salvation, anyway, we are speaking about this situation, is to come to understanding about what is this life about. This life is not about this life. It's about truth. It's about God. It's about reality. And I don't mean like God in terms of like venerating a statue or the bearded guy out there. I don't mean it that way. I'm talking about coming to the understanding about this experience. What is this experience about? Is it about having a healthy family, a healthy body, a healthy mind, a rich home, a wealthy home? Is this what it's about? I'm not saying there is anything wrong with taking care of the body, taking care of the family, taking care of the, the planet, the village, etc. No, not at all. But that is not what it is about. And if you look, we believe that that's what it's about. We believe that it's about a good family, good healthy body, good healthy community. Okay, that's how we have been operating for the past God knows how many years. Look at our success. The bodies, goodness gracious. Every time I look anywhere, they're selling drugs. They're selling, all the drug industry. The drug industry is selling you, oh, use this for this headache, use this for obesity, use this for this, use that for that. Oh, you are 60, use that for, you can think better. It's a disaster. So the body, we are failing. We're failing. Family, we're failing. Okay, let's just go into the details. Let's say we don't have a high rate of success. How about that? The community, I mean, good luck. Good luck with the community. Same thing with the community. My community against your community, even within the community. We're finding each other in the community. The village, the tribe. Dolores, we have tried this model, okay? And the sooner we realize that this model doesn't have a high rate of success. We're continuing with the same model. Oh, it's different now because technology is different. No, it's the same model, you see. So in relationship with our daughter, can we recognize her, God's freedom within her and God's intelligence and wisdom within her? That there is God's hand, God's touch is guiding her. There is a guide that is taking care of the galactic field, how the galaxies are sort of moving in this freaking space that is infinite. I mean, go figure, Dolores. Don't tell me there is some great scientist that have created that. There is no scientist that's smart enough to create all of that. And it is taking care of all of that. The earth providing all what we need for substance. Tomatoes, the apples, the mangoes, the cucumbers. It's magical. It is really magical. So to open ourselves, that same power is operating in all aspects of life. It's not just operating, in this aspect and not taking care of me and my daughter. No, it's operating in everything. And it is operating within your daughter's body, mind. Her entire being is permeated with God's grace. Can we recognize that? Can we recognize that? And see how to explore that direction. And not only your daughter, everybody, your neighbor, everybody, to perceive everybody, irrespective of whether they're having loving or hateful thoughts, that everybody is that same consciousness.
Yeah, that's where I really am attached, not detached, to the mother-daughter, grandchildren relationships, and that I know what's best. And I go to the worst thought available, thinking about them. So that is, and friends, I don't know, not so much. Just kind of connected with friends and family. Yeah. But thank you. I will.
You see, Dolores, God has given you your family. It's God's gift to you. And the way you receive God's gift, you receive it with your personal hands, but also your hands are the universal hands. In other words, God is not giving it for you to hold on to. It's giving it to you to share with everybody. See? So your hands are not just Dolores' hands. Symbolically, those hands are for everybody. Whatever God is giving you is giving it to you, through you to everybody. Through you to everybody. Not through you, so it ends there. It doesn't end there. Because you know, when the water is flowing, Dolores, a river is flowing, and it comes to a dam and it just sits there, the water sits there, it becomes a stagnant water. Water is life, it flows. You say it flows. It's flowing through you. So recognize that your children, your family, your relationships, your family relationship is a flow, is God's flow of love through you into the entire universe. You don't need to hold on, because as the water is flowing through the field, it is watering the field. You don't need to hold on. It is doing it. It is watering the field.
Thank you.
Okay, Dolores.
Magdi, can you talk more about like saying that relationships are overrated?
Well, if your relationship is divine, then it's not overrated. If your relationship with your friends, with your family, is a relationship with God, it's not overrated, rated. But when I say a relationship is overrated, it's a relationship of me with somebody else. You know, my friendship is, if you look at friendships, usually it's about me. How am I feeling? What am I getting? It's not recognizing. Let's put it this way. When you are relating from a sense of lack, from a sense of limitation, from a sense of need, that you need to have that in order to be happy, then you are in the wrong direction. You're starting from the wrong premise. It's very beautiful to relate. We are social beings, like the monkeys. We love to pick the bugs off each other's hair. That was a long time ago. We love to relate. We are social animals. We love to touch each other, to hang with each other, to laugh with each other, to have a drink with each other, to go for walks with each other. That's normal. So relationships is part of how we are. The issue is when we value the belief that I am this person. And we all do. I mean, we all have this belief that I am this person. We believe that we are the body. We We believe that we are the body, the name of the body, the personality of the body, the size of the body, the health of the body. We believe that. I mean, it's deep, and we feel it. We feel that, well, I am this body, you see. So that is a common denominator among human beings, which we refer to as ignorance. Ignorance, because we use the term ignorance, because it is ignoring a reality. The reality being that I am not the body. I experience the body, I perceive the body, I perceive sensations, I perceive images, but I am awareness. I is awareness. So this is why we refer to this common, that the planet Earth right now is under the religion which we refer to as ignorance. We all share the same ignorance. We all believe that we are males, females, mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, whatever. It's common. It's a common religion. And as a result of this common of ignorance, our actions, our behaviors, our thinking, our perceiving is contaminated by that ignorance. So in a relationship, we are in a relationship for ourselves, for this, the body mind. What can I get out of it? What can I get out of it? And we believe that, oh, relationships are very, very important, very, very important, but they're not. They're not important. They're equally unimportant as anything else that you do that is based on that ignorance. Anything that you do, any thought that you have, any experience that you have, any sensation that you have, any feeling that you have, that is based upon that premise that you are a body mind, a mortal body mind, that you are born, and that you have a history, and that you have past trauma, that hopefully you will get over your trauma, and if you have the right relationship, you will be happier. All of that is false. Because when you start with a false premise, you cannot get to the something true. You cannot, from the false, come to truth. The only way you can come to truth is by starting with the truth. You cannot start from the false and come to truth. You cannot start from the sense of separation and come to happiness. It's not possible.
So another thing is, like, in terms of happiness, relationships are not, I think you used the word important. Like, their relationships are a form of celebration, but they're not.
Well, there are, we get together, we have dinner together, we laugh together, we joke together, we go for walks together. It's happy, it's easy, it's flowing. It's when we are relating with ourselves, primarily, and we're relating with ourselves from the belief that I am Amna, that I am this person, that things are moving in the wrong direction. And that belief, we are so habituated to it that we don't even notice it. It's not, the only time we notice it is when we come into satsang and we talk about it. Well, there may be other opportunities to notice it, but here we put in the flashlight, we put in the light onto this belief. So relationships, the primary relationship is a relationship with yourself. Are you relating with yourself as a person? Are you relating with yourself as being a bundle of thoughts and images and memories and what happened to me, what may happen to me, what's going to happen to me tomorrow? Is this how you're relating to yourself? Or are you relating to yourself as awareness? If you're rating yourself as this bundle of memories and thoughts and this body mind that is born and hopefully will become healthier, well, maybe not, I hope so, maybe better vitamin will help me, etc. If you're relating with yourself as that, that is going to be part of your relationship with everything and everybody, more or less. Not all the time at the same level, but more or less it's going to be there. So the main relationship, the primary relationship, is a relationship with yourself, which sometimes we say is your relationship with God, your relationship with truth. First, you have to discover your relationship with truth, with reality. There is one reality. We all know there is one reality. There aren't two truths, your truth and my truth. Oh, wait a minute, her truth is more true than my truth, but yesterday my truth was more true than her truth. It's not like that. Truth is, we all say, yes, it's true. 2 + 2 = 4, yes, true. There is no objection. There is one truth, one reality. What is it? Well, I'm too busy for that. I'm into my feelings. I'm trying to resolve my past traumas with my grandmother, you know, my uncle. Yeah, I'll get to you later. Let me just figure out my problems now. Okay, well, you know, fine. Okay, fine. You know, when you're available, okay, you need to come to this question. Sooner or later, you need to come to this question because you are, right now, you're having an experience. There is a reality to the experience. And the reality of this experience, okay, is not a narrative. The narrative about your experience is not the reality of your experience. So you need to come to the true relationship. The true relationship is a relationship with truth. And from then on, you know, now, having said all that, we are where we are. And right now we're living, we have relationships. Okay. Relationship with your family, relationship with your sons, your daughters, your mothers, your fathers, your neighbors, whatever. So do your best to invite yourself to relate from and as awareness. The recognition that there is one awareness, one reality, one consciousness that is shining through all of us. There isn't a higher power here than over there, or a higher power over there than over here. There is no such thing as two powers.
And is that where the analogy that you used earlier of the river comes in? Like where it just, you don't hold on.
Yes.
You just...
Yes. Yes, absolutely. You have to give the river its freedom. In a relationship, you give your partner or your friend their complete freedom. In your relationship with your family, you give them their freedom. It does not mean that you agree to being subject to their whims. No. I can give my son or my daughter their entire freedom and give my freedom too. And my freedom is I would like to stay 10 miles away or 20 miles away from them. So I'm also honoring my freedom. But I'm not judging them. They're bad and I'm good. They shouldn't be like this and like that. They should be like that and like this. No, I'm not doing that. I'm honoring their freedom and I'm honoring my freedom that I'd rather stay away from them. That's my freedom. And I can do so without introducing good and bad, without judging. Because if you're judging somebody, you're judging God.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm now. Okay, well, very lovely to be with you all. Thank you for your questions, your company, your love, everything that's about you and beyond. So Trish, lovely, and Richard, and Gigi, nice to meet you. Gigi.
Nice to meet you.
Malcolm. Hello, Malcolm. Kelly.
Thanks, Magdi. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Jenny. Jenny. Okay. Gisela. Gisela. Both Amnas. Amna 1 and Amna 2. Holly. Hello, Holly. Rasmi. Frank. Frank and Sean. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Magdi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for your questions. Namaste.
Yes.